Chang Guang, a 24-year-old Chinese immigrant who has been in America for 6 years already, and her cousin Bo Zai, a 17-year-old who just immigrated, are on a mission to get their parents to the U.S. by sending them money to immigrate to America.
Bao Zai stands at the front of the ship, wind blowing in her face. She's been stuck in the steerage, and now she's come up to the deck for the day. She felt so seasick before, but it's getting better now. She's sick and tired of this ship. She finally arrives and goes through the passing inspection. It was very nerve-wracking. First, she waited in the line in the main building. Second, they handed their papers. Then, she answered 29 questions about herself and her family. Following that, they waited for a couple of hours. Then, a doctor would perform a 6-second physical. Then she waited for a bit, and after she got accepted, she left. Moments following her acceptance was unspeakable joy.
The Chinese Exclusion Act has recently been passed. She's just discovered that her best friend cannot come to America. She's devastated. Her parents are back home as well, but they are permitted to travel to come stay with her. But she must save enough money to bring them here.
Many Chinese have found political, personal, and religious freedom in America. Now everyone stuck there must live a life of poverty. These are some reasons why the Chinese wanted to immigrate to the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm staying in Chinatown with my cousin in her dusty, small apartment. I can't speak a word of English. Today we're going to try and get me a job where she works. We walk through a noisy street with huge buildings. I've never seen anything like it. We go inside one building. There is so much smoke coming out the top. We go up the stairs and my cousin raps on a door. A fat old man answers with a smelly cigar. My cousin speaks with the man, and the man motions for us to follow him, and he points to a door. We all go through the door.
Enter a room with many people. It's hot, stuffy, and noisy. There are many big machines. Bao Zai and her cousin sit down in front of the sewing machines. The man leaves, and Chang Guang shows Bao Zai how to sew the fabric pattern. It's tiring work, and they stay long after the sun has set. They trek back in the dark to the apartment. They're exhausted and famished, but there's nothing to eat.
On Saturday, we venture to the market. It's so crowded, and it's hard not to lose track of Chang Guang. We get some fish, salt, and vegetables from an old woman. I wonder when I'm going to see my parents again.
Chang Guang puts a bowl on the table. It's a soup from the little ingredients they bought. Bao Zai takes a sip.
It's good. Bao Zai feels happy for the first time in a while. She compliments Chang Guang, and they go to bed.
I've been working in the factory for 2 months now. I've barely saved enough money to have my parents come stay with me. I work nonstop, and the Americans don't like me because they think I'm stealing their jobs. There are so many strikes these days.
There. Everything will be fine. Even if it takes a while, you will save enough money, and your parents will come shortly. Even if it takes a while, it will make them arriving all the better.
I arrive at work as usual. I'm very tired. I sit down at my machine. I start to fall asleep. I keep nodding off. I hear a loud noise, and I've broken the sewing machine. The man storms over. I've never been so nervous. What the heck is going on here? Have you broken the machine? We're fired!
I walk back to the apartment and immediately fall asleep. Later in the night, I hear Chang Guang open the door. I begin to cry. I'll never be able to send money to my parents, I sob.
It's going to be okay. I will help you make sure that your parents arrive safely to the U.S.
The next day, Bao Zai was looking for a new factory job after she had lost her old one. She went to the city to find a new factory job. As she was walking, she came across a building with a sign. Her cousin had given her a slip of paper. It read hiring in English.
She could not read English, but Chang Guang told her to look for a sign that had those words. She peered at the sign and saw that it matched her slip of paper. She walks inside.
She knocks on the boss's door and recites the little English that Chang Guang taught her to say. In a thick accent, "Hello, sir. Can I have this job? I can't speak English well."
Let me get my translator.
Bao Zai nods, but she doesn't know what he said. The man leaves the room. He returns with a scrawny man, the opposite of the fat old cigar man.
The skinny man translates the conversation between Baozai and the old man. She is hired. She walks into the factory. It's very similar to the one before. Baozai sighs.
Baozai works and works. She's tired and hungry and miserable all the time. She wants her parents. This is not the American dream she had hoped for.
It's Sunday again, and Baozai and Chen Guang go to the markets for some much-needed food. At home, Chen Guang makes her delicious soup again. This is good. People would buy this.
You really think so?
Yes, I'm serious. We should make a business.
They discuss this idea for a while. They know it's risky, but they decide to put all their savings into buying ingredients.
They quit their jobs. They're both so nervous. They set up a small stand in the market.
The first few days, they get no customers. They must eat the soup they wanted to sell because they have no money. They start to get scared this won't work out.
They start to pack up, but then an old woman with 2 small children approach the stand. She buys 2 bowls and compliments them. She says she'll tell her friends to buy some.
They go home feeling optimistic.
Within 2 weeks, they've made $20, a lot of money. They make another flavor, and everyone loves that flavor as well.
They finally save enough money to bring over their parents.
The parents join the business, and with the extra help, the business really takes off. They buy a house and later buy a store for their soup. They really experience the American dream.
The end.